Hello everyone, welcome back to channel again. This is Cloud Institution, the best cloud training institution in Bangalore. So today in this video, we're going to see another very important and very interesting, AWS interview question on Route 53. Okay, so today the interview question is, what is weighted routing policy in Route 53? Okay, so we have seen a lot of different policies in before in the previous sessions. So today we're going to see what is Route 53 weighted routing policy. Okay, so Route 53 offers a weighted routing policy that allows you to distribute the traffic to multiple resources based on the defined weights. Okay, what is defined weights? Okay, so let's see for example, if you go for a diagram. Okay, so if this is Route 53, this is Route 53, and if you can go for so if you have two different regions, okay, so or if you can have three different regions, okay, so this is US region, this is US region, this is Europe region, okay, this is Europe, and this is India. Okay, so for example, if you feel like, so you can just, whenever the request comes from here, okay, you can route the traffic based on the weights you set. Okay, so let's say example, we have EC2 instances inside this. Okay, we have EC2 instances. So what you can do is we can just have the weights, so based on number of weights what you can have. So here, so whenever the request comes, you can just route something about 70% of the traffic that can be routed to US region. Okay, so and 20% of traffic routed to Europe region, and 10% of the traffic routed to Indian region. Okay, so we can set like this. Okay, so in this way, so, so if you feel like, so more you have more users or coming from US region, so you can set a more number of traffic has to go to US region just for the, so just for the easy access, right? So low latency. So, and if you feel like, so some of the users are coming from Europe as well, and very minimum users are coming from India. So you can set the routing traffic, so just like a weighted, how much weight it has to be, and 70% of the weight has to go to US, and 20% of the weight has to go to Europe, and then 10% of the weight goes to weighted traffic has to go to India. Okay, this is what called weighted routing policy. So how do you see the weighted routing policy in here? Okay, so if you can go for cloudinstitution.com and the hosted zone. Okay, you can create a record. Okay, so in the create records, what you can say is, instead of simple routing policy, you can also put the weighted routing policy. Okay, so here you can mention that, what is your weight for this particular record. Okay, so similarly you can just set it for all the other the records that, so how much weights you wanted to set for the different types of the different types of regions. Okay, so and different types of regions, and also for the endpoints, right? So you have to set the weight for your endpoints, so endpoint records, which whenever you're creating a record, it has to be weight has to be set. So weight is nothing but, like, so how many, what is the percentage of the traffic has to route to the specific endpoint. Okay, so this is how you can just route the traffic to different endpoints using weighted routing policy. Okay, so hope you understand this particular question, and if you have any questions on this one, so if you have any doubts, please post your questions in the below comments. We're happy to help you for this one. So these are all the questions will be really helpful for you to crack the interview, so easily. So please be prepared on these kind of questions before you're going for the interviews. Okay, thank you so much for watching these videos, guys, and stay tuned for the rest of the videos in the future.